I've been researching a ton of crypto projects lately, and today I'm going to share with you my top 10 bear market picks. But instead of individual coins, I'm going to share 10 niches that I think are super promising. And for each niche, I'll cover what it is, why I'm bullish on it, and some projects within each one. But huge disclaimer here, the projects I share are just examples. So please do your own research before you buy any of them. Anyways, niche number one would have to be layer 2 projects. You've probably heard of some of these before, like Optimism or Arbitrum. But basically, layer 2 projects help scale Ethereum. Instead of doing everything on the Ethereum blockchain, we would send our transactions or use dApps on the layer 2 network, and then they settle everything back on Ethereum. So the overall user experience is super fast and cheap, but it's also secure because they're anchored to Ethereum underneath. Layer 2s are actually the crux of the modular blockchain thesis, which predicts that the future of blockchains is not doing everything on a single blockchain like Solana, but rather splitting up different functions into their own specialized networks and layers. Personally, I think that this is the best approach, and it's actually what the Ethereum devs chose as well. Like, if you look at their ambitious scaling roadmap, you'll see that layer 2s are front and center in that vision. Now, in terms of projects, there's ZK Sync, Optimism, Arbitrum, Metis, Starknet, just to name a few. And many of them are using cutting-edge technology like ZK proofs to keep things fast and scalable. So yeah, I'm super excited to see these take off in the next few years. Next up, we have a very similar niche to layer 2s, but even more specialized per se. It's called data availability, or DA projects. And those are also a key part of the modular blockchain thesis. Remember, there's 3 functions that all blockchain systems do: execute transactions, settle transactions, and keep all data available and accessible. This niche is focused on that third part, aka keeping the copious amounts of blockchain data easily accessible for nodes across the network. That's actually a very important but hard thing to do well, and so far, it's been largely ignored by the big players out there. So I think it's great to see some specialized solutions being built to tackle DA. For example, the most notable one is Celestia, but Polygon also has a solution called Avail. Overall, I'm bullish on this niche, but I'm not sure it'll perform as well as layer 2 projects that I mentioned earlier, because those are more user-facing per se. Now, as for niche number 3, we're gonna leave Ethereum completely and head on over to the Cosmos world. Yep, I think the entire Cosmos ecosystem is set to outperform this next bull market, mainly because they have a truly differentiated approach and design space. It's not the same old Ethereum experience, but faster and cheaper. Cosmos has a vision to create a bunch of different app chains and connect them together through the Cosmos Hub. We already saw some big projects like DYDX decide to go that route and spin up their own app chain on Cosmos rather than build on some generalized layer 2 blockchain. So their decision was super eye-opening to me, and if I try hard, I can actually imagine a world where there's specialized chains for every app and every use case, which is exactly what Cosmos envisioned. Now, this is all super early, but there's definitely been some organic adoption and energy within the Cosmos space that feels promising. Also, I want to note that Cosmos was largely passed on during the last bull market for hotter projects like Solana, Luna, and AVAX. So there's still a lot of opportunity for Cosmos itself, as well as its ecosystem projects. Next up, we got DeFi options, a niche I've been bullish on for a long time. I mean, options are an absolutely massive part of the traditional finance space, so I think it makes a ton of sense to bring them over to DeFi too. What I'm specifically looking for is Robinhood style options that you can enter and exit with a click of a button. We don't currently have anything near that level of user experience in DeFi, but I do see some promising projects and platforms building towards that. For example, Hedgic, Open, and Ribbon Finance are a few to check out. I mean, I can't wait for the day when I can buy puts or calls on Bitcoin or Ether, and without having to do some weird vault staking thing. Like, is that too much to ask for? Anyways, this is a massive opportunity for whichever team can figure it out. They just need to get a lot of liquidity on their platform and design their token in a way that's tied to their platform's growth. If they can do that, then I'd be all in. Now, so far we've covered 4 pretty serious niches per se, but this next one will be the complete opposite of serious because it's meme coins. Yep, what can I say? During bull markets, fundamentals get thrown out the window when speculators and FOMO flood our space. That's when meme coins go on massive rallies like 100x gain. And some examples include Doge, Sheeb, Bonk, or even Gold Retriever. But if you do buy some meme coins, just be careful and stay level-headed, because you never know if they turn out to be a rug or pump and dump. And if you do end up buying a rocket ship, then just promise me you'll take profits and not hold these all the way up and all the way back down. Now, besides all these promising new niches, one thing on my mind right now is finishing my crypto taxes. I know, taxes are the last thing we want to think about after a brutal bear market. But did you know that you can actually save thousands of dollars if you file your crypto losses? Because you can use that to offset any gains you have now and in the future, plus part of your income as well. So that means you could get an even higher tax refund potentially. Anyways, one great tool you should check out is CoinLedger, also the sponsor of our video. The biggest reason you should try them out is because they are completely free to use. You only pay if you decide to use them to generate the final report. So if you use some other tool right now that you're not so happy with, then you should definitely try out CoinLedger to see how it works for you. I tried them out already and their experience was super fast and intuitive. Like, check this out. Look at how quick it is to import one of your wallet addresses. And once you got everything imported and reconciled, you can generate the final tax report with a click of a button. Then import that into TurboTax or send it to your CPA, and voila, you're done with the crypto taxes. So if you want to sign up, use my link below to get that free trial going, and use my second link to sign up for a giveaway for a free $300 tax report. Now, back to niches, and this next one is as futuristic as you're gonna get. I'm talking AI or artificial intelligence projects. Yep, there's even some of those within the crypto world. I mean, the thesis here is simple. AI is taking the world by storm with tools like ChatGPT.
This year, we're kicking things off with an ad that I created using ChatGPT.
And the idea is that some AI-related crypto projects will also benefit by association. Now, some of them are definitely overhyped and undeserving of the attention. But during bull markets, narratives matter more than fundamentals. So that's why I think this niche is worth looking into. Some examples include SingularityNet, Ocean Protocol, and Fetch Network. And like I said, this is a narratives bet rather than a fundamentals one. So I wouldn't hold these projects for too long either. Anyways, my next niche is also a futuristic one, and that'd be cross-chain interoperability. We have so many blockchains already, and you got new ones coming out all the time. So ensuring that they can communicate with each other and transfer value in a safe and efficient manner is critical. After all, we saw so many bridges get exploited or hacked these past few years, and I just frankly lost a lot of confidence in them. But like I said, the need remains, so that's why I think it's worth looking into projects building in this area. For example, you got Layer 0, Stargate, Wormhole, and a bunch of others. They all have interesting approaches to cross-chain interoperability, but ultimately they're unproven. Either way, I'll be keeping a close eye on them because whichever one is able to overcome the vulnerabilities and build a long and solid track record, I think will become one of the biggest projects in all of crypto. Next up, I got a niche that's bound to be controversial, and that's Web3 gaming. I know, gamers hate Web3 and want nothing to do with crypto or NFTs. But as a casual gamer myself, I think they're mistaken because this marriage just makes so much sense. Like, it doesn't need to be shoved down our throats with items as NFTs, characters as NFTs, land as NFTs, etc. But why not have some things be selectively mintable so we can take it outside the game and trade it if we want? After all, it is true that we spend a lot of time and money on a game, but when we decide to move on and play something else, we have to abandon all the progress we've made. So I think Web3 fixes that, and all it needs are some actually fun games in order to really take off. But I think there's something else that makes this niche super promising, and that's the fact that VCs have poured in more money into this niche than any other crypto niche in 2022. So I think it's only a matter of time until we see some addictive AAA games come out that are tastefully integrated with crypto and Web3. And who knows, maybe regular gamers will slowly overcome their hatred of this niche and they'll play some upcoming games like Star Atlas, Illuvium, or Big Time. Next up, we got a tried and true niche, exchange coins. This is pretty self-explanatory, right? As long as an exchange survives this bear market and they don't collapse like FTX, then they should do extremely well during the next bull market. Exchanges are money printers after all, and if they do buybacks, trading discounts, and other sorts of use cases to their coins, then their coins should also do well. I mean, these exchange coins are pretty centralized if we're being honest, which means they can be manipulated. But perhaps exchange owners like CZ will actually manipulate it to the upside. So yeah, I'm bullish on exchange coins like BNB, Woo, or even BGB, but of course do your own due diligence here to make sure that they're not secretly insolvent. Now, last but definitely not least, is a new niche I bet you haven't even heard of before. It's called real world assets, or RWAs. And I just recently heard about it from a bunch of big brain crypto investors in one of my Slack groups. So this niche is basically bringing real world assets into the DeFi space to get a more safe and reliable source of yield. This is in stark contrast to the current world of DeFi that utilizes crypto native assets that are all chained together, and none of them are truly backed by anything. But real world assets includes things like metals, real estate, corporate debt, invoices, etc., etc. You get the idea. And there are many protocols working on bringing these into the DeFi space, like some help with the tokenization part of it, others with liquidity part, or oracles, or there's a ton of other aspects to it. And example projects include Gearbox, Centrifuge, Goldfinch, etc. Just keep in mind that this is a super young and unproven niche, but I think it has as much potential as any niche out there. So there you have it, the 10 niches I'm personally targeting this year. By the way, I'm not going to ape into any of these immediately because I think 2023 will give us ample opportunity to scale in. So I recommend you go slow, research deeply, and then let me know which ones you decide to buy. Also, don't forget to try out CoinLedger by using my link below to get a completely free trial.